Shalom, everybody. It is Monday, June the 8th, 2020. It is the 16th day of the third Hebrew month. You're watching me on my backup channel. For those of you who have found me, I've been kind of taking it easy, just enjoying this suspension, trying to enjoy as much as possible my suspension from my main channel by just sort of resting more and not doing quite as much work and output. I usually put out like 2 videos a day, and I've been sort of just putting out a video every couple of days or so. But if you're new to my channel, my mission statement is very clear. I preach and teach the Hebrew Jewish roots of the Christian faith on my website, spiritandtorah.com. I exalt Yahshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is the only way, truth, and the life. I expose satanic pedophiles to investigative reporting on my YouTube channel. I've been doing this now for almost 2 years. I provide satanic ritual abuse survivors a platform to speak out on. I protect the innocent children by virtue of these other things, and I lead a nightly Zoom room prayer meeting. Every single night, we pray for President Trump, this nation, other subscribers, each other, and we'll be happy to pray for you. But even though I am sort of kind of taking it easy and relaxing a little bit more than I would normally do, there's still stuff that I want to report. So I'm making this video here for Monday, June the 8th. And the first thing I want to go over, this is a pretty major news here. Defined Projection says, trolls never attempt to tell me the storm isn't real. When you have senior royals of the empire upon which the sun never sets being made to testify in front of the United States justice system for participating in an elite international underage sex trafficking ring. This was actually put together by ABC News. Federal prosecutors in New York request testimony from Prince Andrew as part of Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Remember, Bill Barr said last year, he said, just because Jeffrey Epstein is dead doesn't mean our investigation is going to stop. Of course, again, I'm convinced that Epstein is not dead, but the point is this investigation continues. The UK Home Office typically does not confirm or deny the existence of a mutual legal assistance request, except where disclosure is necessary to obtain the cooperation of the witness, according to the British Manual for such matters. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jeffrey Berman, has previously sought to encourage Prince Andrew's cooperation. The Southern District of New York and the FBI have contacted Prince Andrew's attorneys and requested to interview Prince Andrew, and to date, Prince Andrew has provided zero cooperation, Berman told reporters on January the 27th. Attorneys for Prince Andrew released a statement on Monday, arguing that the Duke of York has, on at least 3 occasions this year, offered his assistance as a witness to the DOJ. The attorneys also criticized the DOJ for going public about their ongoing pursuit of Prince Andrew's cooperation. The Duke of York has, on at least 3 occasions this year, offered his assistance as a witness to the DOJ. Unfortunately, the DOJ has reacted to the first 2 offers by breaching their own confidentiality rules and claiming that the Duke has offered zero cooperation. In doing so, they are perhaps seeking publicity rather than accepting the assistance proffered, Prince Andrew's attorney said in the statement. Any pursuit of an application for mutual legal assistance would be disappointing, since the Duke of York is not a target of the DOJ investigation. Prince Andrew has long denied any involvement in the wrongdoing of his late friend Epstein, the famed financier and convicted sex offender who was found dead in an apparent suicide in prison while awaiting trial for sex trafficking. Sources have told ABC News the investigation of Epstein's alleged co-conspirators is ongoing and is focused on Miss Maxwell, Epstein's former girlfriend and associate. So this is interesting. So, I mean, again, they've requested this 3 times now. Now they're basically demanding it. They're saying, you need to testify. We want you as a witness. And of course, his attorneys are trying to spin it, saying, well, he doesn't really have anything to do with it. He's not the focus of investigation, so he shouldn't have to testify. Well, the only reason his attorneys would say that is because they know Prince Andrew is a focus of this investigation, one of many focuses, because I do believe that ultimately this investigation to Epstein will bring down not just Prince Andrew, but literally hundreds upon hundreds of elites that we all know of, and I've named many, many times on this channel, that have been connected to Epstein's pedophile pedo island. So be interested to see how that continues to develop. Hypocrisy, of course, rages in the leftist world. Social distancing is still mandatory unless you are looting, rioting, or starting fires. This is an article from June 5th. How could the nonstop 24/7 news of COVID-19, which was forced upon us ad nauseum for 4 months, be pushed aside and replaced by the violence and murder in the streets of Antifa? The leftist media want the sheeple to believe that the massive number of rioters are just locals who are truly protesting the murder of George Floyd. Of course, there are many genuine protesters of the heinous, cold-blooded murder of one George Floyd by a police officer. But the truth of the matter is this: a very large portion of the violent, brick-yielding looters are none other than George Soros's Antifa, an anarchist paid group of lawless, opportunistic thugs. Evidently, this is more important than protecting the people of America from a deadly disease. And wait, what happened to social distancing? Many of us have been secluded, cloistered in our homes for months. We've been threatened with fines and even jail time if we did not comply with the guidelines, mostly established by Dr. Anthony Fauci. And by the way, where is Fauci? Haven't seen him in a while. Well, the left see him regularly on CNN and the other communist news networks. Seems that Fauci's upset with our president. I say good. Stay over on the deep state side, Dr. Fauci. We get tired of your daily propaganda show. We were able to discern that you were lying to us. God gives us that discernment as his children. Yes, he does indeed. So it is interesting how, no one's talking about social distancing as these riots rage. Now, let's go back to George Floyd. This was tweeted out by Praying Medic. Jesse Waters asked the questions no one was supposed to ask. Obviously, there's something very, very suspicious about the entire George Floyd incident and his murder. Let's hear what Jesse has to say.
Well, Keith Ellison knows a lot more than we do, Dana, and he's got investigators looking into the relationship between the officer and Floyd. Because if you think about it, and I'm only speculating, you don't just jam your knee onto the neck of a guy that you don't know for no reason. Yes, maybe he's some insane racist that just wanted to kill an innocent black man. It's possible. It's just not likely, in my opinion. From what we know, they worked at the same club together, a nightclub which had a lot of suspicious activity. People should be looking into the nightclub. Was it a front for something? Was there any sort of trafficking going on? They worked closely together on a regular basis. Also, Floyd rumored to have moonlit in another industry, which is kind of provocative. There could be a lot of reasons that their relationship became controversial. Let's just put it that way. And maybe Floyd knew something he wasn't supposed to know. Maybe there was an operation that we're not aware of that's soon going to be investigated. Because if you have a guy kneeing a guy in the neck like that over a counterfeit 20, and you have the rest of the crew standing around and watching, it looks like a premeditated hit. And then when you have the first report to come out to say, oh, he didn't die that way. Yeah. He had a bad ticker. He was on methamphetamine, all sorts of narcotics in his system. That's highly suspicious, because then other reports came out directly afterwards contradicting that. So there's a lot of things at play. And you could find at the end of the day, this is not racially motivated at all. This was some sort of criminal thing that went haywire, and this was a hit that was executed extremely poorly. And they thought they were going to get away with it, while the rest of the country runs wild and tries to, capitalize on the energy from coming out of a lockdown and knowing that Biden's not going to.
Very, very interesting what he's saying here. Now, I don't have any proof of this following statement. This is speculation, but I have seen some chatter suggesting that this club that both George Floyd and Chauvin worked in was a front for child sex trafficking. And George Floyd was going to try to get out of this situation and blow the whistle, and Chauvin couldn't have that happen. So now, I don't know if that's true, but I just think it's interesting that Jesse Waters says this does not seem to have anything to do with a counterfeit $20 bill. And I absolutely agree with him. It will be interesting to see if this does have anything to do with child sex trafficking or whatever it might be. I really do hope that the investigation emerges as to what is going on here. Now, we got some, these stories are always two-edged for me. It's really good news in that the bad guys have been taken down, but it's also very, very horrific news as well. This first one is out of Germany. Horror as child abuse dungeon where unimaginable acts were filmed found in Germany. Police have arrested 11 people over a child abuse ring in Germany as investigators found 500 terabytes of sick footage of children in a basement. This is from June 8th, so this is from today. Police have arrested 11 people after uncovering a child abuse ring in Germany. Investigators found footage of 2 boys aged 10 and 5 being brutally raped by 4 men during a search of a summer house in Munster, Germany. It is believed the children were drugged before being abused for hours. Evidence of the horrific acts was found in a fake ceiling, with officers also seizing more than 500 terabytes of encrypted footage in the basement of the main suspect's home. Much of the sickening abuse was reportedly filmed at the summer house, which was fitted with cameras inside and out. You can read the rest of the story. I'll link this below the video. But, you know, we often hear, in fact, I've heard from my own subscribers saying, well, it's great that they, you know, take down people who are watching this stuff, but when are they going to take down the people that are filming this stuff? Well, here's an example. 11 people, part of a child abuse ring. They were filming this stuff. I mean, putting together 500 terabytes. That's a huge amount of footage that no doubt they were distributing on the dark net, and they have been taken down. So praise Yah for that. And then also in Australia, police take down Australia's largest child sex ring. This is from June 7th, 2020. Federal authorities in Australia have taken down the country's biggest child sex ring, according to reports. The massive pedophile ring was busted after shocking footage of men raping young boys was shared on the dark web. 9 men were arrested across Australia on Thursday after they were caught raping children and sharing horrific videos of their crimes online. 2 of the men, aged 21 and 26, were charged with raping 8 children between the ages of 4 and 7 in Kendall, where missing boy William Tyrell was last seen in September of 2014. Australian Federal Police Assistant Commissioner Northern Command Lisa Gale told reporters on Friday police believe they've cracked the biggest domestic child exploitation network uncovered in recent times. She also made a plea to parents today. I plead to the parents who are listening here now, many who cannot bear to hear this type of offering. Please do not walk away from your television. Please do not turn the volume down. Please turn the volume up. We need you to listen. We need you to be vigilant. Child exploitation in Australia is becoming more prolific. The victims are getting younger and younger, and this type of offending is becoming more violent and brazen. She added the Australian Federal Police don't want to have to tell parents their child was the victim of sexual abuse or exploitation. You know, I've kind of run into a similar type of phenomenon over the last couple of years that I've been reporting on satanic pedophilia and child sex trafficking. And that is, people are like, well, you know, we want to hear the not all people, but some have this attitude to say, well, we want to hear the good news. We want to hear how things are victorious for President Trump, but don't tell us about this child sex trafficking. Don't show us what's going on, because it's just too hard to contemplate. And I sort of understand. I mean, when you're, again, reading a story talking about boys as young as 4, between the ages of 4 and 7, being brutally raped, that is beyond what I think a human mind can comprehend. But it is necessary that we confront this headlong so it can stop, or at least stop as much as possible while we're in this time of what I believe is a time of reprieve. In that President Trump, who way back in 2017 started signing all of these executive orders against human trafficking and child sex trafficking to target these satanic pedophiles. And that's why I believe we're seeing things happen all across the world, like here in Australia, like in Germany. Hallelujah. All right. If you like what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, if you think I'm working hard and I deserve to be paid, this is my full-time career, which I love. I love doing. Even when I get banned from my main YouTube channel, I still love doing this. So if you want to help me out, the easiest way to do so is through my PayPal. That is a link right below this video. That's the easiest way to send me a donation. I also have a Patreon. That's a link below the video as well. The way that works is you click on it, you can pledge any monthly amount you'd like, and then that amount is taken out of your bank account at the beginning of each month. If you're old school and you don't want to use the internet to send a donation, that's fine. I also have a P.O. box that's located below the video, and you can send a donation through good old-fashioned snail mail. Also, if you guys can do me a favor and go to the comments on my last couple of videos on my main YouTube channel that were posted last week, and if you can just try to spam those comments and tell people, hey, Daniel has an alternative YouTube channel. I did put a link to it directly in the About page on my main YouTube channel, but you know, again, it's hard to get people to, especially new subscribers, to know that backup channel is there. I'll do a better job at reminding people about that when I get back to my main YouTube channel. All right, God bless you guys. Shalom, shalom, and have a wonderful rest of your Monday.